Hello and welcome back to Pseudo Gameplay TV for the final character analysis, at least as far as the characters that are unlocked through the main story quest goes. Today we will be having a look at the angry adamantium-infused anti-hero, none other than Wolverine. Now real quick before we jump into the analysis of the character and of his abilities here in the game, I do want to mention again that we are doing a subscriber giveaway if we can reach 50 subscribers before the end of the year. So make sure you're subscribed, ring the bell so you're aware of upcoming videos, and if we are able to hit that milestone, I will give you instructions of how to become eligible or qualified for it. Moving forward, Wolverine is one of the main staple characters from Marvel Comics. His original debut and appearance was in October of 1974, where he appeared in a Hulk comic, and his debut appearance on his own was a month later in November, where he became kind of a cult classic character, if you will. Now, Wolverine was born James Howlett, and as he grew, albeit as slowly, he did end up start going by other aliases such as Logan, who was known as Weapon X for a period, especially where he had some experimentation done on him. At his base form and for the larger portion of his life, the abilities that Wolverine is known for is his superhuman senses and animal-like attributes. You can see he's got quite a feral stance here. He also has an extended longevity via a regenerative healing factor, retractable bone claws for a large portion of his life, as well as being a master martial artist and hand-to-hand combatant. Now, due to some experimentation done on him by the Weapon X program, he was granted an adamantium-infused skeleton, and those bone claws that were retractable also received the adamantium outfitting. So he received a significant boost to his durability with those experiments that were done. So he's quite a difficult character to kill off. And a lot of that reflects in his gameplay here. Now, his abilities that he has access to are as follows. He has access to the Claw Strike, where, as other characters we've seen previously, Wolverine will slash vigorously with both sets of claws, finishing off with one strong cross slash. Now, this is a button that you can mash to continue to use. His most useful attack, in my opinion, and the one that I use beyond most, if not all, other attacks, is actually his second attack, the Adamantium Assault, where Wolverine will perform a jumping, spinning uppercut that pulls enemies in to slice them up. This does incredible damage to the opponent's stagger gauges, and you can even perform a falling aerial out of the attack for increased damage output. And it doesn't eat up a whole lot of gauge out of his stamina or EP bar. So you can really just kind of use this and spam this over and over again to break down the shields of some of the tougher bosses. His third attack, which he gains access to, is the Primal Rage, where he shouts in fury and increases attack damage for a short period of time. So this activates with a little bit of a hitbox from what I've seen, and then increases his damage output, similar to attributes that we've seen from Captain America, but it is unique to only him. The fourth and final attack that he gains access to outside of his extreme attack is the Berserker Rage, where the character shoots forward while spinning and slashing. And this is a charge attack where you can hold the button to aim the direction that you want it to go in. Now, in terms of the team that I've put together, I do have a setup with exclusively a mutant team. Wolverine has a very large number of synergies. He actually has 9 different synergies that can be active. I wasn't able to activate every single one of them, but as you can see, he has a very hefty bonus with this team synergy to the strength and output damage, which is important because Wolverine has a very up-close and personal fighting style. So he has also some added damage and health from the synergies here with Magneto, Psylocke, and Colossus, but the strength damage is really what's of most benefit here. Now, without droning on any further, let's go ahead and jump into an Infinity Rift and showcase how Wolverine plays. Now, you will want to note right off the bat here that Wolverine does have a double jump if my game stops lagging long enough for me to showcase this. So Wolverine does have a double jump that he can utilize. Now, if he does end up taking damage from any source, you will see that he has a regen factor that starts kicking in and refilling his health slowly. He has his standard attacks, a 5-hit slashing attack that he will use to hone in on the opponents nearby. And the final attack on lower level grunts will knock them down. His heavy attack, he will lash forward with both of his claws and knock down the opponents in his area. Now, in terms of his special attacks, we first have the Claw Strike, where he slashes out in front of him, and then as you finish out, it does have a larger slash there at the very end, which does knock down to the smaller opponents. Now, the far more useful attack that I've found is his second attack, the Adamantium Assault, where you will jump up and then perform a falling aerial attack. And this just does wonders for clearing out larger opponents, larger groups of opponents. It's a very good get-off-me tool. And it will also provide a significant amount of damage to opponents with stagger bars. As you saw, with just 3 points of the stagger there, I was able to knock out this larger opponent. And this is the attack that I find myself using more than anything else, really. His third ability is the Primal Rage, which will knock back the opponents a bit, and it will soup up his moves for a short period of time, which is evidenced by the little effect that you see going around him. And it lingers for a bit, but then dissipates. Now, his fourth and final ability, the Berserker Rage, is one that you will sit here and charge for a bit, and then he will dash forward, knocking over opponents as he rockets across the battlefield. Now, his ultimate attack is best used in conjunction with larger groups of enemies, and you can influence it to a certain degree, as it will bunch them up and make them easier to take down. But by far and large, my most useful recommendation is, yes, you do want to have him present on your team because he will regen, and that's just a beneficial synergy to have. But what I most frequently find myself doing is the Adamantium Assault with the uppercut, followed by the falling downwards aerial attack, as it just cuts through opponents with stagger bars and makes very quick work of even some of the tougher bosses that you may come across. Now, it does have its limits, but you also regain portions of your EP bar as you deal out damage, so it's a very beneficial move to have and use. So Wolverine is a highly effective and beneficial character. If you haven't been using Wolverine, pick him up. He is a very, very useful character, and any team that I've ever put together, he has been a part of because he's so useful and versatile. So thanks again for your support on this series. We will be back in a week as we start into the characters that you unlock, either via free DLC, in-game upgrades, or paid DLC, as I will be doing analysis for all of those characters coming forward. So be sure to smash the like button, don't forget to subscribe, and we will catch you in the next video. Take care.